Now then YouTube, I'm the Toffman and welcome back to my complete guide to Thaumcraft 4. We're in 1.7.2 now of Minecraft and version 4.1.1.12 I believe of Thaumcraft itself. So in today's episode, if you haven't seen part 1 or part whatever it is that I'm going to be calling it, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and give that a watch guys, because that goes into the changes to world gen and the changes to aura nodes. If you haven't watched those changes, you won't know what these items are going to do. So in today's episode we're going to be starting with the node stabilizer. Oh man, now there was a time guys, there was a time where the node stabilizer and the advanced node stabilizer didn't exist, and nodes were fighting each other and killing each other, and basically all hell was breaking loose upon the world of your wand recharge pedestal. Not anymore. The node stabilizer will help you with that. This handy device has several beneficial effects if placed below a node. Firstly, it prevents the node from draining Vs from other nodes or being drained in turn. That is fantastic. Been waiting for that. Secondly, it prevents unstable nodes from losing their Vs, and it has a tiny chance of eventually removing the unstable condition completely, which again is amazing. Lastly, it has a very small chance of turning fading nodes into pale nodes. Now these are basically just different types of nodes. The fading nodes, I've never actually come across one, but I believe that they just fade and disappear. That's what the nodes do, and they turn them into actual nodes to pale nodes, so which is also brilliant. This requires power, however, and the node stabilizer draws this from the node itself. It does not draw enough to reduce the Vs of the node, but it does half the normal recharge rate. It's not exactly cheap-ish. It's not too bad if you're going to be using quite a few of these. It's not too bad. We've got piston, a gold ingot, 2 blocks of quartz, 2 arcane stone bricks, and of course a piece of nitor at the bottom there, with some 32 aqua, terra, and ordo. That's the node stabilizer. Let's go and show you this. If I can. Have I crashed? No. Why am I not? Ah, I must be there. It's just not flashing. The node stabilizer. Okay, let's go ahead and plot one right there, and let's go ahead. You know what, let's get a few of them. 64 seems like a brilliant number to me. Let's go and get a few of them so that I can show you exactly what happens with nodes. Let's go and grab a few creative nodes. Okay, over here, when you have a load of nodes together, this is what happens. You'll see lightning going absolutely everywhere, and what's basically happening is the bigger nodes, like this one here, is nicking the Vs from smaller nodes, and that's a bit of a pain in the backside. So these will stop all that. Let's go ahead and pop some nodes. Oh, ooh, it's got its own little effect as well. Azanor, being Azanor, of course, gives it its own effect. There we go. Wow, that is bright. That is really bright. Jesus, that is mega bright. I can't even see what's going on in there. Let's get rid of all these, because they're doing my head in. Creative mode, please. Sorry. Apologies. I don't know if that zapping's coming from these, you see. And look, even this has changed colour as well. Again, Azanor. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And maybe this is a tad too bright for me, but other than that guys, no zapping, no transferring, none of that stuff. But do remember that it halves the recharge rate. If I went to put my amulet in here now, where's my amulet? Let me just go and grab one. I've got it on my person, I think. If I was to put that in there now and get rid of these, there we go. Where's my one? Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. I'm just in fast graphics. So as you can see, it's pulling from these, but it does half the recharge rate. So just remind yourselves of that, guys. But doesn't it look cool? Imagine putting this in like a big ring. It would be amazing, like something from bloody Farscape or Back to the Future or something like that. Looks great. Now onto the next one, which is of course the Advanced Node Stabilizer. Advanced Node Stabilizers perform all the functions of the lesser versions with a few major differences. Firstly, they still prevent lesser nodes from having their V's drained, but it does allow stabilized nodes to drain the V's from lesser ones, which is great. Secondly, it has a higher chance to improve unstable and fading nodes. Unfortunately, this costs a lot more power from the stabilized node. Still not enough to drain V's from it, but even the brightest node will have its recharge rate almost completely negated. So you're going to need 4 blocks of redstone for this, a normal node stabilizer, 2 nitor and 2 alumentum, 32 aurum, 16 ordo, 16 potentia and 16 precantatio. I've got a little bit of a setup here, guys. I've got 2 nodes, one inside here and one inside there. Of course, they can't give their V's to anything, and they can't suck their V's from another one that's that's got one of these advanced nodes, node stabilizers underneath it. However, this little guy over here, it did have some water in there, some aqua. That's the one. So it did have some aqua in there, and as you can see, it's getting bullied a little bit by the guy next to it and nicking all its ignis, as you can see. So basically this node is bigger than that. It will still allow you to zap some stuff into there and keep it in there. If, however, you were to have a wand recharge pedestal and you were to use it over here, it would take the V's from there, but it would not recharge that V's back. Almost completely negated is what it says here. So it's very, very small, I would say, that these things will give their V's out. Will not give their V's out. I was looking at you, you son of a. Will recharge their V's. So what can you do about it? Well, what is the point in having this particular thing if it's not going to recharge the nodes as it stands anyway? Well, guys, this is where the node management system kind of kicks in. This is where you're going to have to really think about what you're going to do when it comes to your nodes. What I would personally do is get a collection of nodes. Get some nodes in jars, bring them around, plop them next to this node right here, and let it just zap away and get all of this ignis from inside there, and just keep zapping away until you've got a good size ignis pool in there. Get rid of the node, either get rid of it or put it back in a jar or something like that. Put another node down that would allow you to get more aqua or more ordo or something else in there whatsoever. Once you've got a large size node, once you've got something that's like a behemoth of a node, just go ahead, guys. I'm just going to get rid of that. Just go ahead, get rid of that. And then the recharge rate, of course, will be normal. Everything will be fine. And you can just go ahead and use your wand recharge pedestal. And it will go ahead and keep, recharging like normal. But do be aware, guys, this is a smaller one, so it's not going to do anything to that one. But do be aware, if you've got any other nodes around, it will start to, do bits and bobs to the other nodes that are around it and start zapping each other, and this will end up all over the place. So really, you don't want to do that. What I would do is what I've just said. Nice red colour for the advanced ones and blue colour for the normal ones. Also, guys, you will notice that these the little red things actually just pop out. I never actually noticed that with the blue ones. So yeah, they start off like depressed in, and then they pop out like that. This is a lot better. This is. It's not as bright as what these things are. I mean, this is just madness. Oh, I can't see. I can't see. So yeah, advanced node stabilizer. That's the one. And just basically in general, node management. Node management is becoming a thing and becoming a big thing within Thaumcraft, and I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more bits and bobs going to go down the line as we go. I've heard that there's going to be some bits and bobs, but whether or not that's actually going to happen, we'll see. We will see. But node stabilizer and the advanced node stabilizer there for you guys to see. And the last thing for this particular episode is under the Alchemy tab. You will want to go towards the left of Magic Tallow and you'll find some new bits and bobs over here. I'm just going to do Alchemical Duplication to finish this episode off, and then I'll go through the other two in the next episode. Alchemical Duplication, guys, is basically you chuck one thing in with some aspects and you get a second piece of that thing, and obviously the original one back. It's basically duplicating what you're putting in. There are many substances in the world that are chemical in nature. By carefully adding the proper aspects to these substances, you should be able to make more of them. One example here is gunpowder. You chuck gunpowder in with 4 ignis and 4 peditio, and you will get 2 gunpowder from that particular recipe. You can also do it with slime balls, clay, glowstone, and ink. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is something I'm not particularly sure of or tried just yet, but I think this is just an example. I think that there are more things that you can duplicate when you get the particular aspects right, but it's just not put in the book. You know, if you put everything in there that could be duplicated, it could be there forever. I think it is an example, but again, it seems to be very specific examples. Clay, slime balls, ink sacs, glowstone, all this seems to be specific examples. It doesn't show that you can do this with ingots, say for example. That could be a bit too much, because you can obviously get the clusters, put the clusters into ingots, and then put the ingots through this kind of procedure again, and you end up with effectively like triple the amount of ingots that you've got. It just doesn't make sense. So I think that maybe there are a couple more things that are hidden from this particular thing. If I was Azenor, I would do a couple more things that were hidden. But I believe that it's only specific things that you can possibly go ahead and duplicate. So there we are, guys. That is going to be the end of this episode. Again, they're only going to be short episodes because of what I can fit into the title. And so that you guys out there can find exactly what you need when you want it, and just come back and find the particular thing that I'm talking about. So, until next time, guys, I've been the Toffman. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this episode, please do leave it a like. It really does help the series and my little channel as well. Until next time, I've been the Toffman. As always, stay safe.